This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Nightmares of an Appalachian Hillbilly by W.D. Phillips. Introduction. Verbal histories and written words are like lighthouses of knowledge within a shadowed sea of ignorance. People throughout our known history have passed knowledge from generation to generation to eliminate ignorance. Some of those histories become muddled with superstition and things that could not be explained during earlier times, either through inexperience or scientific knowledge. However, the lesson within the story was the same: avoid a potential danger. Other stories, even scientifically researched, are inexplicable and undefined by worldly knowledge that baffles those researchers. During those instances, the superstitions of spiritual nature or otherwise supernatural seem the most obvious choice in explaining those events. I remember sitting with my father and grandfather on the porch of an old farmhouse in Cosby, Tennessee. We would whittle bits of wood while my dad, Pop, and I would tell stories of the area and surrounding forests we were from. I remember some of them scaring the lights out of me but would still spark a bit of curiosity that would inspire the pursuit of seeking out the sights for myself. For better or worse, those experiences, either real or perceptually real, leave a mark on your mind that forces an individual to question the very definition of natural or supernatural. Today was one of those rainy summer days. The wraparound porch with its tin roof allowed the drops of water to bang a rhythm on its surface that echoed around the occupants below. 3 generations sat drinking sweet tea and enjoying one another's company, while the oldest began to tell stories from his childhood and more recent stories that were closer to his grandson's day. Wind was gently blowing, providing a cooling breeze that misted and cooled the 3 with rainwater. Grandfather and father lit a cigarette, and Pop began to tell us the most fantastic string of stories that I remember to this day. Although some were nightmarish, they entertained my young mind and provided a strengthened bond between 3 generations. Pop's gravelly voice began to reverberate from the walls, creating another soothing and slightly mystical quality to the ambience. What's in there? All manner of dreams begins the same way. Your body begins to relax, and your breathing patterns become slow and even. Your heart rate becomes measured, and after you have finally found that comfortable spot, you slowly drift to sleep. You become sandwiched between the softness of the pillow-topped mattress and warm, soft sheets and blankets and nestle further into its comforting bliss. It begins with a brief blackness. Then what seems like a fantastical movie starts to stream through your mind's eye. However, as we age and the gravity of people and their opinions weigh us down, our dreams become less fantastical in nature, and the belief in its magic slowly begins to fade. It was a hot summer afternoon, in June, at the base of the Smoky Mountains on my inherited property in Tennessee. Nestled between mountains within a valley, and surrounded by a creek that is fed by an underground and mountain spring, it runs all year with clear water, full of aquatic plant and animal life. The peaceful landscape of gently rolling hills with groves of dogwoods, black walnut, poplar, white oak, maple, and birch provided such a veil of shade as to reflect the hot sun's heat away from the ground beneath them. A slight breeze blew as Jay, a longtime friend, and I were sitting beneath 2 large cedars beside the creek and enjoying the wind as we puffed on our herbal cigarette. We were discussing life in general. Nothing out of the ordinary, until he stopped mid-puff and leaned forward, squinting his eyes as if to strain to peer through the tree line on the opposite side of the creek. He tapped my arm and pointed in the direction of 11 o'clock from where we were seated. "It's a portal to the fairy world," said Jay with a smile, jokingly still pointing in the direction he wanted me to look. After some searching, I saw it. Flanked by 2 large boulders, and grown into a large hill, is a huge white oak. Within its center is an ovular hole that is approximately 4 feet in length and 1 foot in width. It is deep and dark, from our vantage point, so that its contents could not be seen. We spoke for several more hours, joked, and conversed for a while longer, enjoying the Appalachian landscape.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.